if we didn't lease the golf course to someone, we owned and maintained and kept the golf course, and we simply hired an operator, is that, we're not leasing them the land, we're just hiring them to operate the golf course for us. That would, we wouldn't be going through this process because we're not leasing the land and we're not selling the land. We're trying to find a way to help our community really maintain an amenity that we've heard from some people that they're interested in. And I don't know how you maintain any of that with 300 units.
It is definitely an underutilized site by any stretch of the imagination.
So if council's not interested in a long-term lease or disposal of the site, then we have other alternatives. We have other options.
So I don't want to come across as a council and as a city, because we are not. That is not reflective of our community. As a city trying to stall to avoid housing.
Wouldn't it be better to get the community's input, develop that vision, and then make a decision on which direction we want to go?
Where we're talking about how much more flexibility we have by declaring it exempt surplus land. Well, if you consider the minimum of having 300 housing units there, a lot of flexibility, it's flexible. I find that very restrictive. We have no community input as to what we want to do. And if we go down the exempt surplus land side and we go through the process there asking the public what they want, and the public says, hell no, we're not putting 300 units there, we're screwed because we've already declared it exempt and we need to put 300 units there.
Open spaces and all those things that we have heard from our community, some of them, and we look at the ideas of T. Jack Foster when he planned this community. We're not deviating too much from that. I mean, change is really inevitable. Our community, when they are aware of all these facts, what they're going to ask us is, you are the council members. You know all the facts. We are saying, oh no, we want to maintain Foster City, but you are closer to the laws changing and all those things.
That's not having the open mind. And if the price is 300 units to where you could do a whole lot more in it, I don't think it's a heavy price, to be honest with you.
I don't see getting community input as being closed-minded. I don't see, I haven't heard from staff that we can't meet our RHNA numbers unless we build housing at the golf course.
We should always be able to listen and explore all the options. We should not, even sometimes the pressure from the public will be to one direction, right? But I've always said the public sometimes do not have the luxury like we do as having so many pieces of the puzzle work, and they could focus because they're passionate about a certain topic or certain way they want to see things, and not to their fault, but they're not privy to how this will impact the other components of what we're trying to do and what would be the real impact on us. We have the information to know the ramification of what we do and what we don't. Community love the level of service that they get, and that's why they move here. But you cannot have your cake and eat it at the same time. If you want to continue to have this level of service, you have to pay for it somehow. Change is inevitable. We could embrace it and control it and minimize the negative impact on us, or we could pretend, no, we could put our head in the sand and we don't see anything coming.
What I'm saying is not pushing the ball down the road. It's just approaching the problem with getting input from the community. And it's our responsibility to raise awareness, knowledge, and adoption of a position based on facts. Saying that we have knowledge and the community doesn't, I think is a mistake. I think it's our responsibility. I think we should take the time to do the right things, to drive the knowledge throughout the community, say, this is what we're facing. Let's get your input, and then let's do the study. and then decide on a path.
In our mission, it says we use community engagement and data to make decisions and measure progress based on social, economic, and environmental factors. We don't have any community input. We don't have any community engagement to figure out where we want to go. If the comment that the community does not have sufficient information to make these kinds of decisions, we really need to change our mission, and we really need to close our meetings, because if the community their input doesn't matter because they don't have enough information, there's no point in asking for it. We have an obligation to our community to get their input on something. This is pretty darn significant to our community. And I think that we need their input before we make a significant decision that binds us to 300 housing units at a minimum.